Today's lesson is stress management. We want to think about how it is that we address the stressors and taking responsibility for the stressors that we bring into our lives. When it comes to chronic stress, what I mean by that is the level of stress that we've adjusted to, the level of stress that we are familiar with. And the idea of stress management is to begin caring more about how you feel than your circumstances. We want to care more about how we feel than what's actually happening in our everyday life. You have the power and you have control over how you feel. You may not have control over a situation, a person, a place, or a thing, but you have control over how you feel and how you choose to feel about situations, and what you choose to feel stress about is really up to you. And when you feel overload, and what that feels like and what could be contributing to overload. Some of you said work stress, finance stress, decision making or poor decision making, or maybe lack of communication. There was a lot of things that were contributing to the stress factor of the students. So it really depends on, again, your point of view, the stressor, and how willing you are to care more about how you feel than the actual circumstances. Because everything has a life cycle, and that stressor will pass. But you get to choose how long you allow it to affect your feelings. We're going to discuss stressors as an event. So situations or thoughts in our minds that we allow to cause us stress. And some of the common signs that we have negative stress and that stress is starting to get to us is when we are eating to address our level of stress. Now, I know that some of us are experiencing stressors at different points. Some of you are in this group because you have stressors inside of your relationships, and you want to work through those in a productive and positive way so that it doesn't affect your relationships negatively. No matter what type of stress you're experiencing, there's always an opportunity to find the silver lining, or as I would say, the blessing in the experience, so that you can shift that into something that actually serves you. So again, I'm going to remind you that my intention here is not to suggest that you want to take away stress. Some stress keeps you sharp. What I'm suggesting is that you reframe the stress, and that you reframe the experience so that you can see the lesson in the experience. You can see the opportunity in the experience. Sometimes you need to pull back and use your stress management skills. But before you get there, you want to get really clear about what the stressors really are. Let's say school-related stressors, low grades on a test. So is it really the low grades on the test that's the stressor, or is it what you make it mean, what you associate and connect it to, that is affecting the thought process and the psyche around that? Is that what the stressor really is? It's what we usually make it mean that brings the stress, not the actual experience. A low grade on a test wasn't really the problem. A low grade on a test meant something about my importance, or it meant something about how smart I was, or how valued I might be, or how accepted I might be, how it felt to get a low grade on a test It was more about engaging with the individuals and how I might be seen by getting a low test grade. And so that in humanity is typically what's more important, is our connection, our desire for love and acceptance that brings about the stressor. It's never really the experience or what has happened. It's what we attach to the experience by attaching our meaning to it and attaching our filters to the experience. And I want you to be really focused on what you're doing to bring about stress in your life, and whether or not you're really honoring or listening to yourself when it comes to your decision making or problem solving skills. You have the power to create less stressed, more peaceful, and loving decisions for yourself, because this is all about you. This is about you being authentic to who you are, you making decisions that are in alignment with your true self. Not for anyone else, for you. I want you to think about where and how you would do things differently. Begin and continue to identify stressors, because there are patterns there that you want to focus on and understand. Because as soon as you can take responsibility for it, then you can change it. And that's why we continue to grow and develop ourselves, is so that we can have better experiences, more joy. And until next time, I really do wish you a beautiful rest of your day. And thank you for making time to tune in.